Hey, what's up everybody? It's Wes here with Consumers Authority, and today we're going to be doing a review of this Tidal 55 series water filter made by Seachem. It's got all kinds of great options. I started off with a Tidal 35 on my 29 gallon, and I decided to bump it up to this 55 just to get a little bit of extra filtration. Here's the unboxing. It's got a pretty lengthy manual. This is for the 55, 75, or the 110. So this one is a step up again from that 35. It's got a couple of extra features that the 35 did not. This one has the flow control right here on the front, on the blue dial, and then right in here inside this box, this is going to be the intake tube, and it is fully adjustable so that you can pull water in from different depths of your aquarium. Maybe you've got a deeper tank. This one actually wound up going on a 37 gallon for me. I moved it from the 29 to a 37. I've got a separate video on that, switching everything over. This has a little clip for a thermometer. I don't really use that. Mine's a cold water tank with mountain minnows. It's also got an adjuster screw here that you'll need to install. And what's going to happen here, once you slide your filter over the tank, you can adjust this in or out to make sure that it's balanced and sitting level. And here's a look at the pump and the impeller, both which are replaceable. You can get the impeller. If it has any issues, you can also replace the pump for about 24 bucks. Here's the water skimmer, and then this pump also features a hydro line, so this allows it to wrap around the tank and not be in the way. You just kind of click it into place, make sure that all the corners are snugged in, and then just run your line down. I'd also like to run a piece of tape across it just to make sure it stays in. So the next cool feature about this pump is the intake tube flow control. So basically when you're turning this blue knob, it's opening or closing the intake tube slot. I like to have mine fully open, so I'm actually going to wind up removing this blue dial, and the bonus to that is you won't see the blue dial in the tank. That's not something that I would recommend, but that's an option that I'm going to do. But either way, you'll just slide this over the motor, and then you can adjust your intake tube up or down depending on the depth of your tank or whatever it is that you're looking for your filtration. But I just don't like seeing that blue dial through the tank, and I'll be popping that off here later in the video. And next up, we'll explore the media basket. To do that, just pull the little blue tab back and it slides out. We'll stick the filter aside for just a second. So inside the filter, you'll see the coarse blue sponge. This is going to come with the filter, and it's going to be your primary mechanical filtration that you want to leave in the bottom. Now you can buy replacements of these, you can stack them, do extra ones, add your biomedia here that comes with it. This is the Seachem mix, and this is going to be for your biological filtration, give the bacteria something to adhere to and to grow on. And we'll just go ahead and get these rinsed off beforehand though. You can see how powdery they are, that way it doesn't cloud up your tank water. Now the lid also has some really cool features. It's got this little pop-up indicator that once you get some overflow in your filter, it's going to let you know that it's time to do some service on that, let you know the flows got restricted. We also have a little holder here on the bottom of your media basket. It clicks right into place, and this is going to keep you from dropping water on the floor when you're carrying it from your tank to your sink to do your monthly or bi-weekly filter service, whatever your schedule may be. But it's a really cool design. They're definitely forward thinking on that, and I think it's just a really cool option. And like I said earlier, we'll go ahead and take the filter media and get it a good rinse. You can see some cloudiness in the water. We don't want that in the tank. And the next thing I really recommend, aside from just leaving your factory sponge in there, is to take something like this polyfill premium polyester fiber and just take a handful of it, and you can stuff it down in your filter basket, and it's just going to provide that little bit extra filtering capacity. And this is something that's super cheap, super easy to switch out. Once it gets a little dirty, just throw it away, and then you'll put your biological media right on top of that, and then you're good to go. Or if you prefer, you can use a water polishing pad. This is a fine pad that I recently switched to. I found that the polyfill did let some little fibers loose in the tank that I really didn't like. This is something that you'll cut to size. You can stack these up, add one or two, whatever it is you like, and just put that in your filter to polish the water. I've also been using Purigen. This is just a little baggie that I put in there, and just to help to remove any additional organic waste from the water, and just to try to make the water as clear as I can at all times. And I mentioned earlier in the video how I was going to take this blue knob off just because I'm going to have this flow set to full blast anyways. So here is that knob and the little flapper that would normally cover the intake tube. So it's completely out. It just pops off. It's a little X that pops into the other part. And so just to make sure we don't have any fish or shrimp or anything get sucked up, I do think it's important to take a little piece of coarse sponge and stick it down at the bottom right here and just leave the intake tube fully open. Again, this is completely optional, not something that I'm recommending that you do. This is just something that I've decided to do on my own filter. So now we've got everything hooked on the tank. I've actually even added a little baggie of crushed coral just to help the pH, and we're going to get this thing filled up. and you can already hear it filling up. Again, this filter is self-priming, so if your power was to go out, have any kind of issues like that, it's going to kick back on automatically. You're not going to have to do any kind of switching on it or self-priming it. It's just going to run. And you can see it here now that I've got the water level right, and you can hear just how quiet it is. You can also see the surface skimmer here is doing a really good job of sucking up debris. You can see little particles going in there, so this is something that's going to work really well. Maybe a little too well, depending on if you have small fish or shrimp like I'm going to have. So I do recommend you put some little filters on the bottom. I'm also going to wind up taping this up. I'm just leaving some small holes. I don't want to leave these big huge gaps where small fish and shrimp can get into. So I'm hoping that this right here is something that'll work. Just kind of, it'll restrict the flow a little bit more, but again, that's going to keep smaller fish from getting stuck on it. Now, I did run the tape for a while until I switched it to a screen. I actually had an old screen door and just took this little sample from it, so I've got plenty of material left over and just taped it on the top and the bottom, and that's just going to make it a nicer filter, I believe. It just looks a little bit more clean, and so far I have not had any fish or shrimp get stuck to the filter whatsoever. I also used a small piece of wood that you can see just under the filter there, and it runs the length of the filter to the other side, and what that does is lift it up out of the tank just a little bit higher. I do like my water level to be slightly higher than what this filter will allow. I may try to come up with something better in the future, but so far so good on this one. It works perfectly. I've also added a little bit of filtering material here on top because I did wind up taking the adjuster knob off. Turn it on to full blast, and that way if there's any overflow, this filter here will be the first line of defense to catch any debris, and I'll just change it out when I do my filter services. But this filter really had its work cut out for it from the get-go. This was my 29 gallon and just how dirty it had gotten during the cycling process, and after I installed the Tidal 55 overnight, it made it crystal clear. And then right after that, I wound up upgrading my tanks before I got the fish into this 37 gallon, and I'm really happy I did. It's a great size. The fish are super happy. I have a separate video here I'll post in the top right when I got my delivery from Aquahuna. It's a great company. I definitely recommend them. But I'm super happy with this filter overall. I don't think that I'm going to wind up upgrading it to a bigger size. This one seems to do just fine. I had considered doing the Tidal 75 just to have some overfiltration, but again, this 55 seems to be right on the money, and the filter itself isn't too big. When you go up to a 75 or a 110, you're getting that bigger hang on the back filter, and I wanted to keep it as low profile as possible, but I really enjoy it, and I think this is something you're going to like as well. If you have any questions about the filter itself, about my tank setup, the fish, anything at all, definitely feel free to drop me a comment below. I definitely do my best to get back to everybody because without you there wouldn't be a channel. So I definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you have any suggestions for any future videos, definitely feel free to leave those in the comments below. But in the meanwhile, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and I hope to see you next time. Alright, peace.